Welcome! It's January, which means that Mark and I are not doing a huge amount of renovation work. We tend to take January and February off. We down tools. And for me, that means it's a really good opportunity to take stock of my interior designs, see where we're at, see what I need to do, and just really refocus on what we're trying to do with the house. So anyway, as I'm looking at all my bits and pieces today, I thought that you would like to join me. And Mark and I have also been having some conversations about the work that we are going to do this year. So whilst I'm doing this, looking at paint samples, looking at fabric samples, I thought that you might like to hear what we're planning to do this year. If you've been following me for a while, you know where I'm going with my interiors. This is a base fabric. I only have a small amount of it. It's got holes in, so I really can't use it in the actual house itself. As you can see, it's gone to pieces. But whenever I am making colour decisions about the house, I always get this piece of fabric out. It's a Sanderson's fabric. It's called Beauvenet. I cannot find this anywhere. I can find other colourways, but not this one. It is a beautiful fabric. Every time I go into a charity shop or an antique shop, I always see if I can find any more. But so far, I've been unsuccessful. But that's the joy about buying second hand and using vintage. You just keep looking and looking and looking, and I'm sure one day I will find some. And I know that I've asked you before, if you see any, to let me know. And I've had some great hints and tips about different websites to look at, so thank you. Keep those suggestions coming. Before I get sidetracked with all my fabric and paint charts and things, I'm going to park those and look at my floor plans. They're beginning to look a bit tatty. I've always been interested in interior design, but really when we moved here and we got such a blank canvas, I really began to focus on trying to learn how to do things properly, from doing floor plans to coming up with mood boards and everything in between. But now I'm at that point where I feel as though I want to push myself that step further, which is why I'm thrilled that Skillshare are the sponsors of this video. Skillshare are the largest online learning community for creatives, and they offer thousands of classes delivered by industry experts on a whole host of creative subjects: photography, 3D modelling, interior design, upholstery, marketing, mood boarding, all sorts of things. So if there's something that you're interested in, it's likely to be here on Skillshare. I personally am really keen to turn my paper-based floor plans into something amazing online. I want to input them digitally online and really bring the vision to life. And I found the perfect course on Skillshare, which is going to help me do that. Just like exercise, creativity is a practice. So the more I use Skillshare to hone my creative skills, the more I'll grow and the more I'll develop, which is really exciting. Skillshare are kindly offering the first 500 people to use the link in the description below the opportunity to become a Skillshare member for free for the first month. So use the link in the description below. Let's get started. So Mark and I have been talking. We've been talking about what we're going to do on the renovation this year. And we're both in agreement that last year just was not fun. It wasn't fun because we had to finish some really big projects. We didn't have an indoor shower. We were all cramped upstairs in the bedroom space upstairs. And it was beginning to feel overwhelming. I'm going to say overwhelming. And normally we would down tools in October, but just the fact that we didn't have an indoor shower, we kept working and working and working, and we were working right up until Christmas. And I have to say, we then came down with the lurgy, and we just said we can't do that again. So what we've decided to do this year is finish off a few major things. We have to put the skylights in. We've got a skylight in a big skylight in the kitchen above me. there's 1 in the shower room, there's 3 in the boot room. So that has to be done. It's going to make a huge difference to the light that's coming in. It's going to make a difference to how warm it feels, because obviously at the moment we've just filled it in with some foam. So that has to be done. But then really, there aren't many things that have to be done. So what we're going to do, or what we have done, is we've come up with a bit of a snagging list. I'm at the point where I really am ready to have the rooms looking more like I have designed them. So at the moment they're comfortable, they work. But for example, the living room, we've already done so much to the living room, but there are bits of furniture that shouldn't belong in there. There's ornaments that shouldn't belong in there. We've got paintings and artwork that we need to frame so we can go up there. So I am going to get my floor plan sorted, really get to grips with the mood boards for each room, and hopefully we will actually then start seeing it evolve into the space that we really want it to look like. So then there's the snagging list. It drives some of you insane. I know, we know why we do it, but we will do a job, and then when it's to a point where it's okay, we'll just move on to the other job without 100% finishing it off. There is a reason for that. That's because there's always something far more important to move on to. But now we've gone through each of the downstairs rooms and actually identified things, silly things like the door to a cupboard is broken, and so it just is leaning on the side. Now that the plumbers have been, the ceiling in the cinema room just needs to go up. Mark started insulating Imogen's stairwell on a weekend where he was a bit at a loose end. That needs finishing. And so there's just these bits and pieces that we're just going to go and say, you know what, we don't have any doorknobs on doors. That would be really nice to have some doorknobs. We took some door latches off when we were painting a door. They've never gone back on. And they're just the little snagging lists which haven't seemed that important. But actually, you know what, this year it does feel important. We just want to get some of those smaller jobs ticked off, and it will actually mean that the house will begin to look more finished. And the other big project this year, I don't want to wait any longer, is the garden. I am desperate to get the garden done. Now, it's been hugely neglected. I've chipped away at small areas of the garden, but the garden looks a mess. It looks like a reclamation yard. It looks like a rubbish tip, really, because when Mark has been doing a job, he's just thrown materials outside, and he's not the tidiest of people, let's admit it. So we're going to have skips. We're going to have lorries come and take away the remainder of the heap of soil that's been left over from the renovation. And we're really going to get to grips with the garden. I really want to be able to look out the window and see something beautiful rather than something that I just want to hide away from. So really, that's it. There are a couple of big jobs, the garden, which is a massive job, lots of landscaping opportunities there. I might be able to use Skillshare for that to find out how to actually landscape my garden. The skylights, and then really lots of smaller jobs, but hopefully they're small jobs that will make a big impact. We've also been working so hard over the last couple of years that I think that both Mark and I feel that we definitely have lost a bit of our creativity. And for that, I want to do more online courses. I want to read more interior books. I want to go out. I want to travel. I want to see things. I want to go to the Chelsea Design Centre. I want to go to rug emporiums, nice hotels, nice restaurants. I just want to go out into the world and see things and explore and feel inspired, and then bring those ideas back here to Starre Corner and try to start implementing some of those more fun ideas, which I know are there somewhere. I just want to really start implementing them into the house. So it's really going to be a very, very exciting year. No big jobs, but I think it's going to be a year where hopefully you and I will see a really major improvement here at Starre Corner. So it's very exciting, and thank you so much for joining us on our renovation journey. And this is a year that we're going to get things done, so let's do it. This is a new interior book that I got as a Christmas present. It's called An English Vision by the architect Ben Pentreath, and it's absolutely beautiful. I'll add a link in the description below so you can have a look at it for yourself. It's full of beautiful English interiors, lots of inspiration, fantastic colours, fabrics, great text as well, very interesting. So that's something that I have wholeheartedly been enjoying over the Christmas holidays, and that's going to take pride of place on my coffee table. I definitely recommend that one. If you're looking for a new interior book, I definitely recommend this one. I hope that's given you a really good insight into what we're going to do this year at Starre Corner. It's not a big to-do list, but it's a very productive to-do list. If there are any questions, if I haven't covered anything, please do drop me a message in the comments below, and I will see you again next time. So thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.